In divorce, the world can seem upside down, like nothing makes sense, like it all has fallen apart. And that's true on some level, but on many levels, it's not. In today's video, we're going to tell you about one not talked about way that you can use and rebuild yourself step by step. But first, I want to get back to those feelings of the world being upside down. This is totally valid. It completely just happened. You went from a loving relationship, no matter how unhealthy that was, into a legal contract, which you probably didn't realize you signed. And that's never easy. It's not easy for anyone. It's not even easy for her. And here's a surprising fact. 90% of all marriages end in divorce that's filed by the woman, the wife, the female. And that's pretty admirable, to be honest. I'm not gonna hate on that. It's pretty impressive that anyone can take the initiative to say, this isn't working. This is unhealthy. I need something different. So I don't hate on you. I actually admire the fact that a woman could make such a decision. I know for myself, I thought I could fix it. I thought it was just a moment of time before I could show the way or convince with conversations and logic. But here's the thing, guys. Logic, it's not how women communicate primarily. It's not their decision mechanism. So when we approach a relationship with logic, we're completely looking to fail. So your advice from me today, whether it's in your divorce relationship or any future relationships going forward, lay off the logic, go back to emotions, and realize that we communicate in many different ways. Oh, we got a little bit of a ornery camera tonight. Guess what? We're still shooting. That's all right. So, like I was saying, communication, the key to it is making sure your message is heard and understood. And to do that, we do it by finding a way to get that message out. And for men, we can talk to other men and make logical decisions because that's how we think. That's how we interact. But for women, that's a completely different thing. They're emotional creatures. They're in touch with senses that we are, as men, primarily aren't even aware of, don't believe in, or various other thoughts or beliefs behind it, right? So there's one way to look at some of the differences and challenges that may be impactful and reasons why your relationship didn't work out, right? I know personally for me, I approached my marriage, my engagement, my relationship, and many relationships with way too much logic. Thankfully, divorce gave me the opportunity to see the other side, to see something different, to do a lot of work, and be here today to tell you the shortcuts and the lessons. All right, so getting back to the world feeling upside down in divorce, this is totally true. I felt it myself. And there's a way to get around this. And that way is to take step-by-step movement forward. And it's to celebrate what many people, I know for me personally, as a man, did not celebrate. And that's the small wins. See, the small wins are important because it's all about the little momentum that we have in this world. These tiny incremental steps that we take that put us to a place of success. No one gets anywhere. You don't become an NFL football player, a basketball star. You don't become an Olympian. You don't become anything without taking small little steps. Matter of fact, here's something I love to think about is the way that we learn to take our first steps. And as a baby, talking to friends the other day with the newborn, the mother and the father were like, well, it doesn't really do much for the 6 to 8 months mark, right? It kind of cries, lets you know that something's wrong. It will cry when it's hungry, when the diaper needs to be changed. There's not much interaction. The smell of the baby apparently is amazing, but the rest of it, they were saying, is kind of like a lot of hard work with little reward. And then suddenly, like 6 or 8 months in, the baby starts to come alive, starts to recognize typically the mother first. Ironic, because she's typically doing a lot, and if not most or all of the special handling, so to speak, right? The feeding, the comforting. Women are, I mean, that's what their role is, right? In society for so long up until modern life. Like they are the caretakers. They are the ones that are naturally going to nurture, right? They have the ability to feed, to create food for a child. How incredibly impressive and amazing is that? Like magical that a human being can create substance for another creature. So anyways, got off on a tangent there of what I think is the amazingness of women and their, I was gonna say beholden power, but it's like this beautiful, magical, anyways, I'm gonna digress. We're getting back to walking. Anyways, that baby really doesn't move much. And then maybe around a year and a half, they might be crawling, and somewhere in there, depending on, like I've heard of kids standing up closer on the inside of a year, right? I've heard of kids standing up much later than that. And sometimes that's a positive thing, and sometimes that's a negative thing. But the important thing is we start off as individuals that can really just cry and eat and sleep. And we move to a place where we can do a little bit more. We can maybe roll over in our sleep, fidget our hands. There's the phase where kids are put into sacks nowadays, their hands are covered, right? Or wear mittens so they don't scratch their face. Like there's these steps that we take forward towards movement, towards that first step, that walk, that standing up, that eventually run, right? Think about like a famous Olympian runner and how they didn't get to where they were at without that same process. That same incredible process from baby of 6 to 8 months without very little interaction to a place of winning the Olympics for the world's fastest men or women. Like that is just absolutely incredible, the progression. And so to get to that place of being an Olympian, imagine all the small steps they had to take along the way, from baby to podium. And that's the same thought process I want you to have here. You know, your world is upside down in divorce. 100% agree. I've been there. You've been there. You get it, right? The world's changed. You went from comfort and probably a challenging relationship to a place of alone, of everything being ripped away, of no longer feeling loved or worthy or enough. And on some level that's true, but it's really true on the micro and on such a small zoomed in scale. It's not taking into consideration the fact that you're loved by so many people, your family, your friends, like the list goes on, right? And it's about realizing that in divorce, we can get really zoomed in, really focused on what we've lost. We can forget about the importance of what we have. So some small wins that are maybe good steps to move forward with, reoccurring themes, and commit to these. Put a time scale on it. I'm not just talking about today or tomorrow. I'm talking about weeks. I'm actually talking about months. I know for me, one of the small wins that I did when I had the opportunity to and I wasn't working, and that typically meant getting up super early, which is really good because the world is quiet in the morning. No one's moving, no one's walking around for the most part. You kind of feel like, well, like you think the world is, which is you're all alone. You watch the sunrise, you're just amazed by this spectacle, that's this show, this free entertainment that's put on every morning, most people don't see. And then you get to slowly see people come alive, come out of their houses, maybe go on a walk, head to work, take the kids to school, whatever it may be. So for me, sunsets and sunrises were really special the first couple weeks and months of divorce. And I made sure to commit to at least seeing a sunset or a sunrise in a day. I even at times would get up, watch the sunrise, and go back to sleep, just to remind myself of the small win of it's another day. Great, you got through yesterday. Nice job, Benjamin. Get back at it. Get back at it. Like almost like a Goggins saying, but he takes it to a level of extreme with waking up and exercising. I was taking it to a level extreme of watching a sunrise, nowhere on the same level, but the same premise, right? Get up and do something that's not easy and most people don't do and commit to it. So I'd get up, I'd make my bed, small win number one. And that is because no matter how alone in the day I felt, I came home, my bed was made. There was always something to welcome me into the next night's sleep that brought the next day. And there was something comforting about that. It's also something comfortable when you make it your bed again, right? Maybe you had 1,000 pillows. I don't really remember the pillow situation in my personal experience, but I do know making the bed mine again, making it every day brought comfort. And the second small win was getting outside, cup of coffee. Oh wow, absolutely beautiful out here, guys. I don't know if you'll see it. That bridge and that river. Let's see if we can, there you go. It is gorgeous out here today. So yeah, small win number one, make the bed. Small win number two, go see the sunrise. And then at least I had something in my day. It was a step forward. It was a sign that another day had passed, that I wasn't alone. And so find your small win. Find what resonates with you. Find what takes you home. What gets you to that next space. And when you do, and you commit to it, and you do it repetitively, it's that first step. It's that first step that will get you to the podium of where you seek to be, your future self, the better version of you, the man you know you are and you've always wanted to be. So I dare you, get out there, commit to more than just a couple weeks. Let's go months here and take that first step. Get that small win for the day.